recently you launched a campaign to hold Hillary Clinton accountable for her crimes. How are you going to accomplish that?
We're all for it. I think an indictment would be a good idea, followed by a prison sentence.
It goes without saying, as of late, on the majority of my videos, my live streams, even messages on Twitter, I am asked regularly who I'm voting for. Now, I did a video a while back where I spoke about my job and how the election can truly affect it, but let me go ahead and expand on this a little bit. Oh, by the way, Grey Disciple back with another gameplay. In the background real quick, it's a safeguard game. It's a nice game. I joined in late. Man, if I was there from the very beginning, there's no telling how well I would have done in this game. And if we could have extended it to overtime, man, it would have easily been a 100-kill game. But it's nice, fast, and sweet, and that's what I like. So, obviously, our candidates this year are Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and neither one of them, in my opinion, are fit to be president of the United States. But these are the two characters that we have at this point. Now, as a Christian, I want to put something forth to you guys. There's a verse in the Bible I believe wholeheartedly in. It's in Proverbs 21:1. And it says, "The king's heart is like channels of water in the hands of the Lord. He turns it whichever way he wishes." Meaning this, that who's ever president, is controlled ultimately by God, and everything's ordained by him because of the providence of God. Now, I know a lot of you aren't Christians, and that's fine, but that's my personal belief. So for me, it doesn't really matter who's in office. Now, another thing that I believe in is this, and you can look through history at this. I read the Bible, and the Bible is actually a historical document, and you can go all the way back to the kings. And what I have noticed, and what is surmised, and what is taught, is that God has a tendency to judge a nation that has gone wayward with evil leaders. So if the nation repents and turns back towards God, he gives them a godly leader to lead them out of the slump that they're in. But if the nation continues to rebel against God and refuses to repent, God judges them, and the easiest way to judge a nation is with their leadership. They can bring you to your knees. What else have I spoken about? I don't know if y'all remember that video I did a long time ago about democracy and how it ultimately does not work, because once the people realize that they can elect officials who will give them money from the treasury, i.e. entitlements, they will continually elect the person who will offer them or promise them the most money from said treasury. Okay, and I don't need to go through that. If you guys ever want to read a book, look it up, and you'll see in every democracy they last about 250 years. And if you guys don't know, America was established in 1776. So we're coming to the end of our 250 years. Interesting stuff, right? But still, the question remains, who am I voting for? The truth of the matter is I don't like either candidate. So it's kind of like picking the lesser of two evils, I guess you could say. My vote is against the Democratic Party, against Hillary Clinton. Now, I have a lot of reasons for it. One of the main ones is my job. I'm in health insurance, and Obamacare threw a big wrench into what I do for a living, okay? And if Hillary Clinton gets into office, chances are she'll continue to force that plan down our throats even more. And the more she does that, the less likelihood that I have in the career path that I've been in for over 15 years. It's what I'm very good at. It's where my knowledge base is. So obviously, it would behoove me to have a Republican candidate in office who will repeal large portions of Obamacare. All right, so there's that. Now, I'm going to start with Donald Trump a little bit. Personally, I cannot believe that he's even a presidential candidate. I would have rather had Walker from Wisconsin, or I really liked Ben Carson, to be quite honest with you. The problem is he's just not loud enough. And but Trump, I mean, the guy was a punchline for years. People made fun of him on Saturday Night Live for years. He had that show, You're Fired. I mean, do I respect the guy? I absolutely know nothing about him. I know people call him a racist. I've never actually seen a clip where he said something racist. I think they assume racism based on his immigration stance. And I could be wrong. He may have said something racist. And I just honestly, I don't pay attention to what they say because they're all liars. And if I'm not mistaken, 8 years ago, Trump was a supporter of Clinton. Or I don't know if it was 8. No, it'd be longer than 8. Whatever it was, 16 years ago. He was a prime supporter of Bill Clinton. So kind of confusing that he's running against Hillary, almost like a setup in a way. But let's not go into the conspiracy theories. As for Hillary Clinton, she's a liar. She's a snake. She's only in it for the power. And it really scares me sometimes. I mean, of course, we've all seen the whole thing about the email leak, which that in itself should throw her into prison, because if any military person did that, they would be in prison. And she went before Congress and she lied about it. Even the FBI said that they actually had proof that she did it, but they wouldn't convict. Almost like their hands were tied. And that bothers me a lot, but that's not the biggest slap in the face. The biggest slap in the face is this, and a lot of people don't know because it's kind of brushed under the rug, and I'll show you a clip of it right now.
Senator, there's some, let's call it this, there's some potential breaking news out there. Julian Assange, who heads WikiLeaks, says there are some emails that pretty much tie Hillary Clinton to knowing about some weapons that may have been going through Libya to some of the ISIS fighters. Let's take a listen to what you asked her back in 2013 Benghazi hearing.
It's been in news reports that ships have been leaving from Libya and that they may have weapons. And what I'd like to know is the annex that was close by, were they involved with procuring, buying, selling, obtaining weapons? And were any of these weapons being transferred to other countries, any countries, Turkey included?
Well, Senator, you'll have to direct that question to the agency that ran the annex. And I will see what information is available. And
you're saying you don't know?
I do not know. I don't have any information on that.
Now, if WikiLeaks, in fact, does have emails proving that she did know, what does that mean to you?
It's a felony to lie to Congress. You can get 5 years in prison. And we can't continue to say that the Clintons are above the law. I do believe that the CIA annex in Benghazi was procuring weapons, some of them to get them away from the jihadists in Libya, but some of it to ferry those weapons through Turkey into Syria. There have been many, many first-hand accounts. New York Times, London Times, Washington Times have all reported upon this. I know for a fact that the current Secretary of State is very aware of what the CIA is doing, and I can't reveal what I've heard from him, but I can tell you that he's aware of what the CIA is doing in Syria, and I find it hard to believe that Hillary Clinton, who all the news reports have said she was the biggest advocate for arming the Islamic rebels in Syria, many of whom turned out to be not only enemies of ours, some of them may have turned out to be ISIS, but some of them also turned out to be enemies of Israel as well.
Okay, so in the leaks of the emails, what you found was that she actually lied in one of her testimonies before the Senate Judiciary Committee, which is an automatic 5 years in prison for perjury. Now, we have proof of this. She went before the panel. They asked her a question, she lied, and now we have the emails to prove that she lied. That in itself right there means that that woman goes to prison. The way Rand Paul puts it, where, you know, I guess there's two sets of law. There's laws for Hillary Clinton and laws for everybody else. So is she above the law? And that's what bothers me about Hillary Clinton so much, and it confuses me why people would even vote for her. I think it's such a, what's the word? A divisive commentary right now. It's like almost like a football game. Like people are rooting for their teams and they're not realizing what they're rooting for. They're so focused on, I'm a Democrat, yeah, I'm a Republican, yeah, and nobody stopped to question it. Nobody has stopped. That's my stance. You guys leave a comment down below. I know there's probably going to be some arguments down below. Listen, everybody's allowed to vote for whoever they want to. It's freedom. And all you people over in Europe, just know that the media has really skewed everybody's perspective on what's going on. So just take everything that they say with a grain of salt, all right? As always, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I look forward to speaking with you again later. Have a good one. Bye.